I give you number 4, Florida State at Clemson. ABC game. This is bright and early. This is the 11 a.m. kick, much to the chagrin of those in Death Valley. Now, Trey, you did a little digging. You actually asked a question as we were kind of syncing up before we hit record. You asked when the last time that Florida State actually beat Clemson was. When was that?
That was the year of our Lord 2014. Jimbo Fisher was roaming the sidelines, and Florida State was on their way to the first college football playoff.
So it's been a minute. It's been a minute is what I'm hearing.
Been a minute.
I don't care. I told you, I told you guys before we hit record, sometimes history is my best friend. And I say, how can you not take the home team, the home dog even, with a better defense? History says it's hard to go on the road and win in those situations. Like last week when I told you take Florida plus the number. And I was right about that. This week, history doesn't apply. Give me Florida State minus the 2. They're the better football team. I like their offense. I just don't trust Clemson's ability to keep up in a shootout. It's not like Florida State's defense is any slouch, right? It's not like they're all sizzle and no steak. They can play defense. They can get to the quarterback. They can force turnovers too. I don't trust Cade Klubnik right now. I hate to say that because he is a talented quarterback, but he's young.
I don't know why you would.
Well, listen, I want to believe that Clemson can turn that around and get the offense going, but right now I haven't seen it. So give me the Noles.
Yeah, I think I'm right there with you, Mitch. I'm going to take Florida State minus the 2. I don't think it'll be that close either. I think Florida State wins this one pretty comfortable. Another statement. Look, I haven't been impressed with Clemson, but I've been really impressed with Florida State. A real attacking defense. They do a really good job putting pressure on the quarterback. That seems to affect Cade Klubnik. So I think that the game plan here is rush 5, rush 6, rush 5, rush 6, and just kind of keep sending pressure after him all game long. Force him to make plays, and then if he can do it for a whole drive, maybe you lean off of it, right? But I think they're going to keep pressuring him. I think they're going to keep coming after him, try to get in his head. 11 a.m. for Clemson. I feel like some of those games end up being a little sleepy for him. Maybe it's just, the ones that I watch, but it doesn't seem like Clemson comes out super strong at 11 a.m. Feels like, Death Valley ends up being a lot better at nighttime. So I'm not too afraid of this. And yeah, Jordan Travis, he's the difference maker in this one. He's been incredible. And at the end of the day, I picked Florida State to be my number 2 team in the college football playoff. Ain't going to get there if they lose to Clemson. So I'm going to stick with my preseason prediction, go with Florida State minus the 2 here.
Man, can y'all imagine if we got Alabama and Clemson being eliminated from the college football playoff on the same day in September?
That would be sick.
What a year 2023 would be to start off. Guys, I'm going to take Florida State too, but I'm going to give the case for Clemson because I don't want to completely write them off in this game. They are at home. They still have an elite defense that can give Jordan Travis a lot of problems. If you look at, the history of this series, we highlighted that it's been a long time. It's been almost a decade since Clemson has beaten Florida State. And a lot of those games just really haven't been close, especially in the Mike Norvell era. Last year was a little bit closer. It was a one-possession game down in Tallahassee, 34-28. But, there's been a lot of times in this series in recent history when Clemson's defense just really flexed their muscle. I could see a lower scoring game here. I could see Florida State being fortunate to escape Death Valley with a win here. But I do think they are able to get that done. A lot of people are talking about Florida State, maybe not being such a solid pick in this one because of the Boston College game last week. That is not why I'm concerned at all. If you watch that game, it was like 31-10 at one point. Florida State kind of fell asleep at the wheel. I think they got the wake-up call out of the way, and they're going to be up for this game. By halftime of that Boston College game, they were already thinking about Clemson. It almost got them, but it didn't. So they're totally fine. And it's going to be a fun game to watch, I think, though. I'm concerned about Clemson being able to go down the field and keep up with Florida State's offense, and that's why I'm going to take Florida State.
There's no doubt. Florida State's defense especially did not exactly wow you last week. And in their defense, their total defense took a hit. Statistically, Clemson's got the 4th best total defense. Florida State is ranked right now at 104th. Now, when you dive into the advanced metrics, turnovers, sacks, tackles for loss, their defense is a lot better than 104. So don't look into that number and just go, oh, well, how on earth could you defend Florida State's defense? I will, like you're saying, Trey, I can absolutely see why this line is only at 2, right? to look at what the media is saying about Clemson and just discount this game would be a total mistake. Florida State has to be on their A game in order to go into Death Valley and win this game. There's absolutely a reason that the line is under a field goal. But I like Florida State's ability, even in a close game, to have an explosive play, to have some game-winning drive that pushes them over the edge. And essentially, this line's a pick 'em, right? So as long as Florida State doesn't win by one, you're into cover town if you're the Noles. This is a chance. If Florida State's going to make the playoff, this is a chance to rewrite the narrative, to make a statement and claim the ACC as your conference here in 2023. I've been a big believer in Noles coin since Mike Norvell took over. I think this is another step in the direction of Florida State becoming the alpha in that conference. Who knows what happens down the line if the ACC expands, retracts, whatever. But for 2023, I think this is their conference.
Gracious, how about that?